Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Today I want to talk about why your ex may be watching your Instagram stories. And this could also apply to Snapchat and Facebook stories. I receive a lot of comments about this on YouTube, so I thought it was about time to do a video on it. But before I do that, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And while you're at it, tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when a new video is up. Alright, so I'm going to read a few of the comments here and then go into the many reasons why your ex may be viewing your Instagram stories. Alright, the first one says, right after our breakup, he stopped watching my IG stories. He did view it once, and then I made a decision to disappear off IG for an entire month. When I say disappear, I mean not even using the app, point blank. So when I finally decided to come back and post on IG, he was the first view on my IG story. Well, and has watched it every day since being active again on the app. I think the best revenge is to be happy regardless of if he views my IG story or not. However, I'm not over him, and to be honest, I want him to stop viewing my story, yet I don't want to block him. Yeah, don't block him yet. Wait another 30 days. Give him at least 60 days to make up their mind whether they're going to reach out or not. But it really sounds like he misses you if he was the first person to watch your story. I don't know why it would bother you that he's looking at it. I mean, he's just looking at your story. You know, how is it affecting you? Maybe because you see his name in the list of viewers and it bothers you for that reason. But, you know, you shouldn't really let it bother you that much. Okay. The next comment says, my ex stopped looking at my stories for 10 months and then started looking. But when I said hello, he ignored me, but still keeps watching my stories after that. What does he want? Why can't he just delete me when he doesn't want to be friends? So if he stopped looking for 10 months and then started, usually that means he's over it. Now he's just looking. Just for, well, one of the many reasons I will list below later. But it really depends on when they're looking at it. If, like the first person, he was the first one to look at her story after she disappeared for a month, that means he's still interested. But if he disappeared for 10 months and then starts looking after 10 months, I don't think he wants to get back together. Alright, the next comment says, since we ended, she hasn't watched any of my stories. She still has me as a friend on there and hasn't deleted me off any social media. Alright, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. The next one, my ex ghosted me, and after 2 months of no contact, he started watching my Instagram stories again. During the third month, the frequency of his views gradually increased from once a week to every day. What do you think about this? I've stayed strong and remained in contact. Well, it's hard to say. He may be interested. The fact that he's watching every day, maybe not. Again, I'm going to tell you in a minute what the many reasons are. I know I keep teasing that I'm going to tell you and I don't tell you. I'm so bad. But I want to get through these comments first. And then one final comment. So my ex-boyfriend always looks at my story on Instagram and sees my post, but last night I posted me out with friends at a bar and he unfollowed me. What does that mean? It could mean that he still misses you and it was upsetting for him to see you out having fun. He thinks maybe you're going to find someone else or you're moving on without him. So it was easier for him to just unfollow you. You know, but we can never really know why an ex follows or unfollows or blocks or unblocks or watches stories or doesn't watch stories. At the end, you just have to make your educated guess. And if you ever get back with them, you can always ask. So let me go through this list that I've been teasing of why they may be watching your stories. So you have to understand that it may be in response to the loss and grief of a relationship. It's a coping mechanism. So just because they ended the relationship, it doesn't mean that their interest in you ended just like that. There's still interest in you. And I know you might be thinking, oh, does it mean they want to get back together? I wish. Wouldn't it just be easier if it just meant they want to get back together? But it doesn't necessarily mean they want to get back together. It might, but they still need to reach out. So don't assume it's safe to reach out just because they're watching your stories, because I actually had a client do that because I said, all right, let's do this little test. She had been watching his stories for 2 months, and this was right after the breakup, and she was always one of the first. And so we thought, well, maybe she's interested. I'm like, okay, go ahead and reach out. Yeah, crickets, nothing. She left his message on read. So nothing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they want to get back together, unfortunately. Another reason could be curiosity, boredom, which I know it sucks. It's like, oh, they're just looking at my story because they're bored. Or habit. So if they were used to watching them before, they want to watch them again. It was part of their lifestyle. And by the way, before I forget, they may be watching from a second account or a friend's account. Because I had someone, I remember they left a comment on YouTube. They're like, my ex's friends are all of a sudden watching my stories. It's like, no, it's not your ex's friends that are watching the story. Your ex is watching the story through his friend's account or her friend's account. It's not the friends all of a sudden are interested in you. Yeah, right. Or someone said their mother was watching. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the mother suddenly took an interest. But they may be using a fake account. So just keep that in mind. Just because you don't see them in the list of viewers, they may be using a fake account. You never know what's going on out there. All right, more reasons. Entertainment. Maybe you have a fun life. I don't know. It's part of their entertainment. Or it could also be FOMO, fear of missing out. So they want to see what you're up to. They want to see if they missed out on anything by breaking up with you. So curiosity. And as I said, just because the relationship ended, it doesn't mean that their interest in you ended immediately. I have an ex from 5 years ago who's probably listening to this. Hey. And he's watching my stories, and I know for a fact he doesn't want to get back together. Not that I do either. But anyways, so, don't assume that just because they're watching they want to get back together. They may also want to see how you're handling the breakup, but don't make them see you sweat, or don't let them see you sweat. So don't be posting all these things about breakups and I'm so sad. It's like, just carry on as normal. Carry on as if nothing happened, as if the breakup never happened. They may be thinking about you, and so they want to see what you're up to. Maybe they want you to reach out to them, and they hope that when you see their name in the list of viewers that you'll reach out. But of course, you're not going to do that unless you cheated or took your ex for granted. But otherwise, you're not going to do that. They may have done it accidentally. If they still follow you and they're reviewing one person's story and then all of a sudden your story came up, they may have accidentally watched it. That's probably the least likely of the situations, but, it's a possibility. And then finally, they want to see if you're dating someone else. I mean, aren't you always curious to see if your ex has moved on and is dating someone else? So they figure that they'll check your stories. But if you are, don't post right away. Just wait. So, all right. So if you have any more questions about getting an ex back, about social media and how to handle that with an ex, blocking, unblocking, all that fun stuff, right? Then you can contact me about a coaching session so that I can help you figure out what's going on and get your ex back. The direct link is below. Otherwise, just go to theartoflove.net and you can also sign up for my free newsletter there. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.